We're going to speak today about cause and effect. This is one of the key themes in A Course in Miracles. And specifically, I want to talk about the idea of shrinking the gap between cause and effect. In A Course in Miracles, speaking within the illusion, the cause is the mind and the effect is the world of bodies. Even more specifically, the cause is our decision-making mind, and the effect is the world of bodies that we perceive, experience, and make real. Right. The whole purpose of the ego thought system is to keep us in a perpetual, an ongoing state of mindlessness, because the ego's fear is that the mind that originally chose the ego and gave it existence, because without the belief in the ego there is no ego, that mind will one day recognize that it made a mistake, choose differently, choose the Holy Spirit's atonement principle instead of the ego's separation, and the ego would disappear back into nothingness from which it came. So to have this not happen, the ego convinces us that the mind is a dangerous place to be, that the wrathful God is hell-bent on our destruction by virtue of our sin against him. And then we project all this out, make up a physical universe, make up an individual body, therein believing we could hide. All this, of course, is absolute nonsense, because a projection doesn't work, ideas leave not their source, and effect leaves not its cause. So that the phenomenal universe and our individual experience of that world has never left its source in the mind. Meaning, cause and effect are one. But it behooves the ego, in order to preserve its existence, to split off cause and effect and have this huge chasm, keep them seemingly separated, so that we all experience pain, we all experience sadness, we all experience suffering at one level or another, but we don't know the cause. So chapter 27 says, of all the many causes of your suffering, you never considered guilt to be among them, which really means our decision for guilt, which is the cause of all our suffering. But since the cause has been split off from the effect and repressed, we don't know about the cause. So again, there's this huge gap, which really is the gap of denial, or this gap of forgetfulness, that doesn't have us be aware of the cause. If I'm not aware of the cause of my suffering, and I seek for all the causes of my suffering elsewhere, I will never be able to undo the suffering, which of course is why everyone suffers in this world from the beginning of time. Everybody changes, everybody grows old, everybody suffers as they grow older, and eventually everybody dies, which is the cause of great fear for almost everyone. And all of this is sought, the causes of all this are sought in the one place where they can ever be found, which is in the world. Right? And the problem being the mind is blocked off by this veil, what we sometimes refer to as the veil of forgetfulness, or the veil of denial, or this amnesia that the ego fosters, so that again we will never return to the mind, so we can choose again. Right? The purpose of the Course, or one of the ways of seeing the purpose of the Course, is to shrink this gap, so what it seemed to be such a huge chasm separating mind and body, guilt and suffering, they draw closer and closer together, so that it would end up that as soon as I experience some kind of discomfort, some kind of upset, I think of lesson 5. I'm never upset for the reason I think, and I realize the reason I'm upset is because my mind chose the wrong teacher. That is the cause. And if I can get closer and closer to that each and every time I feel upset, regardless of the form of upset, physical and or psychological, I can get closer and closer to that, I could then say, as lesson 34 says, I could see peace instead of this. In other words, peace is a decision, just as conflict, upset, distress, and pain are decisions. But if I am not aware that this is a decision, there is no way I could change my mind. And without changing my mind, the cause of my pain and suffering, whether it's on the individual level or the collective level of the world, that goes unnoticed and therefore uncorrected. Right? So therefore, the purpose of this Course, the purpose of the miracle, the purpose of forgiveness, the purpose of having Jesus as our teacher, is to bring us back to the mind. I frequently say that in this Course, Jesus leads us on a journey from mindlessness to mindfulness, which really means the awareness, not that we are a body, but that we are a mind that can choose differently. And so the whole purpose of this course is to bring the effect to the cause, bring the darkness to the light, bring the illusion to the truth, all different names for the same process of recognizing, very simply, that the cause of all of our distress is simply choosing the ego instead of the Holy Spirit, which means the cause of all peace that we will feel, the cause of remembering God's love lies in that same decision-making mind that can now choose the teacher of love rather than the teacher of guilt and of hate.